And people might be thinking, huh, anime singer's very big, man. I was like, do you watch Demon Slayer? Do you know Lisa? Do you know Jam Project? They've sang your One Punch Man. One Punch! Hi everyone, I'm Estelle Fly and I'm a local musician, and today I'm going to be answering questions submitted by you guys. First question, I love how you incorporated both music and dance in your releases, as it's not common to see local musicians do so. Did your passion for dance influence this? Yes, I actually grew up watching a lot of Michael Jackson and Janet Jackson because my parents were a huge fan of them, especially Britney Spears or all those peeps. It was like one of those things where if I want to perform on stage, right, I want to dance. And seeing that I have years of dance experience, it was like almost natural. So to answer your question, yeah, my passion plus my upbringing, like my parents' taste in music definitely influenced me. Have you ever gotten performance anxiety? If yes, how do you cope with it? That is a very, very good question. Actually, in fact, I have taken a break, like a very short break, because of performance anxiety, which is really weird. I've been performing for almost all my life. I started ballet when I was 6 and I started doing live stage performances ever since I was 7 also, and then eventually went to like overseas for dance exchanges on stage, and then actually being in an anime idol group, which was really like for a huge concert hall. I think because I was always in a group, but when I came to Singapore, it was just like a whole different ballgame because I had to be a solo artist. A lot of things really heavily depended on like the craft and all the planning I had to do, and I think because it was such a steep learning curve, it hit me pretty hard. Performance anxiety, it's a very normal thing. You just have to trust in the process, kind of just have to trust that everything is gonna go well, but I think in the real grand scheme of things, nothing will ever be perfect. So just look at the fact that you guys worked really hard and everyone really enjoyed themselves. You'll never be pleased, just accept the fact you'll never be entirely happy. I have a passion for singing and dancing, but I'm not sure if I should pursue that in Singapore as it's not the most conventional route to take. Help! Girl, dude, I totally feel you on this because in a country where you buy HDB, you need to put money in CPF, blah blah blah. I totally get it, man. If it's something that you're truly passionate about, I really think you should go for it. But I think if you want like a real take on things, passion sometimes it is not enough. You have to be ready to put in the hard work. You have to be a bit more hardy because in Singapore, everybody is kind of like putting you on a microscope sometimes. It's very easy for them to point out your mistakes and stuff like that. Have a strong team with you. So if you're not sure, all you have to do is just surround yourself with the right team and you should be able to get pretty far in Singapore. I genuinely believe that because sometimes it's not just a one-man job. Do you have any tips on how to stop comparing myself to others? I always feel that I'm not as talented as my peers. I really think it's very human for people to compare themselves, and us being Chinese or Asian or anything, right? We have parents who always compare us with other kids who are like very, very smart. But you know what? You just need to work hard and have confidence in yourself. I know it's very hard to do that, but sometimes you just have to give yourself credit when credit is due, If anything, right, if you want to do TikTok, TikTok is a very good platform for you to practice, to sing for a huge audience. I know you guys might think, TikTok for Xiao Mei Mei. No! Okay, TikTok is actually a very huge platform, okay, for you guys to like expose yourself. As an artist, you are often under heavy scrutiny, like I mentioned before, from the public. How do you handle criticism or hate comments? There will be, but I've learned to actually just humor them eventually. When people say, "Eee, damn gross," I was like, Thank you so much for typing this out. I really appreciate the attention you've given me. Just put your head into the work and do it. If people insult you for it, then you just be like, okay. Don't let these people bring you down. They're just like keyboard warriors. And if they have comments, I think they just don't fully understand the process you're going through. So you just have to, just let it go lah. Any tips on how to improve my vocals or artistic skills? Vocals, if you have the budget, definitely go for vocal lessons. But for me, I actually groomed my singing from primary school choir. I just joined CCAs that kind of lined up to it. So it's technically like free vocal coaching, right, if you think about it. And if anything, it teaches you how to harmonize and whatnot. Or if not, I know this is going to sound really crazy, but when you're just doing anything at home, like on the computer, just bring up your Spotify or whatnot. Not sponsored, not anything, but just bring it up and then sing out loud, sing along to the songs, record yourself. For me, it's just singing in the shower. At one point, I was riding a bike and then singing it out loud just to train my stamina and sing it at the same time. I know it sounds really crazy, but it helps because It builds your core. How do I get signed by a recording company label? What do I do to get noticed? So it really does help if you could write your own original songs. I know kids these days, right? They actually teach them to use GarageBand in like secondary school or something like that. It's damn nuts. We learn recorder and they learn GarageBand, guys. What is this double standard? It would really help if you can record your voice over a demo. Or in the modern day and age, you can actually take any song and then like a karaoke version and actually write your own top line, which is like a melody and your own lyrics on top of it, and actually record it and keep it with you. And you send it to anyone who's in a label, send them your demos, and then they'll get back to you if they like what you do. What should you do to get noticed? Be someone who's actually very sure in your, at least the direction you want to go into. I know it sounds like, oh, how can you not know? But once a company sits you down, they'll be like, actually, what kind of musician do you want to be? How do you want to look like? What would you want to be known for? You know, things like that. It really does help when you have a very clear picture of that, because if you don't, sometimes it will take a bit more time for you guys to slowly discover that. And in this industry, honestly, they don't really have the time to just like sit there and figure things out for you. Always be writing. That is so important, because once they have you on board, right, a lot of times they'll be like, oh, you know, you have so many good songs, maybe we could actually work on some of these. And a lot of times it's not like, oh, 10 songs and then we release all 10 at one time. It's always like, you could release this first and then this one after and after. But if you feel like you can't make it up for all that number of demos, have a very clear vision and a plan. And a bit, business plan is a bit far out, but it's a plan to how you're going to market yourself as a musician too. Very important. Alright, what made you want to become a singer/musician? Growing up, I think there was a period where when I was on stage, it just felt like the moment felt very real. I felt like I was very much alive on stage, because it's a very real feeling where the world really feels like it's being drowned out and it's just you in that moment. And as a kid, right, that was what I wanted. Like when I grew up, it's like having to be the most myself and most confident and most excited to share what I have. I just really wanted to have the experience all the time, which is why I think when it came to dancing and whatnot, it was like the one time I felt like I could show off everything that I prepared. I wanted to have that feeling as a solo artist. In Singapore at least, I just wanted to inspire like the young people. There are a lot more musicians gaining recognition and having Singaporeans support that. And I think you need to take these baby steps, and then just knowing that the baby steps or this journey that I'm a part of, it feels like something bigger lah. So, you know, Singapore has to start somewhere lah. How would you describe your music style and direction? Who are your inspirations that help build your style and brand? For those who listen or have watched my music videos, they always compare me to like the K-pop style. And they are right, because I love K-pop. I'm not gonna deny it, okay? Because like, at the beginning I was like, really, you all must compare me. But you know what? I'm just gonna embrace it, okay? Yeah, I like K-pop style. I love to sing, I love to dance. I'm trying to work within my means to make that happen, so please be more forgiving. Thank you very much. I would describe my music style as pop and upbeat. Direction is very, I would like to say fun. I like to believe that I'm fun. A lot more of like the dancer. That's my direction, dancer that loves to sing and perform on stage. Inspirations that help build my style and brand. I really like Ariana Grande's sound. I don't have her vocals clearly, but her music style is definitely one. IU is another one. And there was this group called G-Idol as well. And this other artist called Soyeon from G-Idol. So she's this girl who writes her own songs, produces the track. It's part of the writing process, which is pretty rare in the K-pop industry. So I was just like, yeah, you know what? If this girl is like only 18, 19 years old, why can't I do the same thing? And if you guys don't know, she's a part of KDA. If you guys like play LOL, right? It's freaking good. Branding... Blackpink, because I really love Blackpink also. They just look so luxe and expensive. I love, love, love. Do you have any hidden talents? Does it count as a talent? Some people might beg to differ leh. I want to say that I'm actually pretty decent at gaming. Maybe in some FPS games I'm a bit lousy lah, but in general as a game player I'm pretty damn decent. When it comes to fighting boss, right, I can like clear one time one. Some people say, wow, I need clear 4-5 times. I'm like, I can clear one time, you know. So does that count as talent? I don't know, but that definitely counts as a hidden skill. What's your biggest accomplishment so far? Definitely one of it was being able to perform in Yokohama Arena, which is in Japan. And it was like a huge anime concert and I got to meet huge anime singers. And people might be thinking, huh, anime singers very big, man. I was like, do you watch Demon Slayer? Do you know Lisa? Do you know Jam Project? They sang your One Punch Man. One Punch! and all those kind of bands. Yeah, I met them in person, okay? That's like the biggest. I stand there in their presence, I'm like, I have accomplished big things already in my life. I've met these people. But yeah, having a concert in the same concert as them. The second one was, I think this is a personal accomplishment. It doesn't feel very big now I'm saying it out loud. But I actually had like, in Majula Live, I was able to like really perform the vision that I had in mind, and it felt like a mini concert segment for myself. Even though I had a lot of anxiety and I felt like I was dying after that, now in retrospect when I think back, right, it's like, it was a good performance. Is Twitch a viable career? What made you hop on the platform? I'm gonna put it out there, it really is a viable career, guys, if you have a very strong content. But just always remember to do other things on top of just Twitch, because Twitch is a whole different ballgame, man. I hopped onto it because circuit breaker, we have nothing to do. And then I decided, since I love gaming so much, right, I might as well try doing Twitch with it. Why not? So I went on it. I know there's a lot of like I know any platform there are trolls, but I've met the most supportive, amazing people on there. But in every job, you need to put in a lot of hard work, right? So yeah, I don't see why not. I think you can make it into a viable career. Go for it, man. Whoever want to make it into a viable career, let me know your username. I'll go check you out. Are you a K-pop idol? Why did you join Produce 48? I am not a K-pop idol. In fact, I actually did anime songs, so I was an anime song idol. To be very honest, if I went to Korea, I went to Japan and it has crushed my confidence so much already. I cannot imagine if I went to Korea, because in Korea, right, they really work. They train you to the bone in the hopes you get to make it. So they're kind of like hoping that you're focusing on the fact that you get to debut. And in Japan, I trained because I knew I was going to debut already. It's like a different system for me. In retrospect, I had it pretty easy compared to Korean trainees. If I was young enough, would I have joined Produce 48? Oh my god, would I? I would I think I would have subjected myself simply because I knew I was young enough to take any chances. If I wanted to make any huge life decisions where I know I might potentially fail, you should do it when you're young, because when you're older, you just don't have that time anymore, that luxury. It would be to know what you want earlier. Be more assertive of what you want to, because I'm a very passive person. So be more confident in your ideas and be assertive about it. Alright, for you guys who you want to pursue this career, I really think that you guys should go for it. Just remember that you need to have a very thick skin. Well, we could say in Japan that ishokenmei, which is like the never give up spirit, because you're going to need it. There's going to be a lot of factors that bring you down, like money, time, social pressures or personal pressures that you put on yourself. Sometimes, right, these kind of things are beyond your control. And when it comes to your mindset in things, don't let yourself be an obstacle to that. If you want it, grab it. If you have any problems, think about it later, but focus on what you want to do first. Because we know at the end of the day, when you put in all that hard work and you actually see that small little bit of improvement or that small little glimmer of light and success, then you know that it's worth it, okay? So yeah, go for it. Just be strong, okay?